Hey guys, so today's video, I think I'm going to actually make this thing into a series, potentially. Basically, I get asked this question so many times and I never have a proper answer. So I thought I would kind of make a series and you can find out a bit more about me. Basically, if you haven't guessed by the title, I get asked what my favourite films are so often that I should probably have a really good answer by now, but I just don't. As a film student, it is something I get asked a lot and it is very hard to answer, or at least I find. And I always give the same answer, one that I am going to explain in a minute. But basically, I have decided to make this maybe like a series where I will talk about 5 top films. So they're not necessarily my favourite films, but they are films that I have enjoyed at some point in my life. They are literally going to be about everything. So I thought I would share with you some of my favourite films, and it will be a series, and in each video I will talk about 5 top films, and today is the first one, yay! So the first film I'm going to be talking about is the film that I usually talk about when I get asked what is my favourite film. I have answered this question before and I have given this exact same answer, but I thought I would share it with you again because some of you are probably new and haven't really seen many of my old videos. So the first film I'm going to talk about is Inception. Inception is the first film that got me into filmmaking. So if you didn't know, I am a film student. But before doing film production, I actually wanted to be an actress. But after seeing the film Inception, which came out in 2010, oh my God, 7 years ago, that was a film when I was like, that would be quite fun to actually work on. And it obviously would have been fun to act in as well. But I thought it was such a visionary film, and there was nothing like that out at the time, that it really made me think, whoa, it would have been amazing to be a part of that. That was the film that got me into filmmaking. It's an amazing film. If you have not seen it, I don't know where you've been for the past, 7 years, I guess. It's directed by Christopher Nolan, who is literally my favourite director. I'm sure there will be plenty more of his films throughout this series. It's about this group of people who kind of work together and go into dreams. It's a really weird concept and it's really hard to explain. The first time I saw it in the cinema, I didn't understand it, but I knew it looked amazing. So I went to see it a few times in the cinema. But yes, definitely want to go and watch Inception. Second film I'm going to be talking about is called Me, Earl and the Dying Girl. Now this is a film, I don't know if it came out in cinemas. It may have done. It's quite an indie film, but it's quite mainstream indie. So I think more people will have heard about it compared to other indie films. Pretty sure it was put into Sundance, or it was put into one of the big main festivals out there, and it did really well, and it's such a beautiful film. It's about 3 teenagers, can't remember what the main guy's called, Earl, and then this dying girl, as the title would suggest. She has cancer, and it's the story of their friendship and how the two boys kind of help her get through her life and how she deals with it. And the first thing that really made me want to watch this film was actually the fact that the two characters remade films, which is what me and my friends used to do when we were younger. We used to remake our own films. In the film, they actually kind of changed the storylines and make it more comedic, but me and my friends used to just remake all films. So it's a beautiful film. It's even got some animation in it and it's wonderfully acted and it's beautiful, and there's a lot of camera tricks and camera movements that are really, really cool in it as well, so go check it out. The third film I have added to this list is because the second one has just come out, which I have not seen yet, and it is Kingsman. I am not the biggest spy movie fan. I was never really into James Bond. I've seen them, but I wouldn't be like, oh my God, it's amazing. And I've seen other spy movies, but they're just not really my sort of thing. I'm not really big into that action, I'm the hero, I'm gonna save you kind of thing. It doesn't really bother me. But Kingsman, oh my God. It is a cinematic beauty. Again, if you have not seen this film, I don't know where you've been because all the slow motion, all the fight scenes are just impeccable, and it's so choreographed to perfection that I don't know. And what's the guy's name? Taron Egbert or something? The really hot young guy, like he's got a really weird name. He is just really hot when he's got that suit on, so that's always a good plus. And Colin Firth's in it, and he's quite hot in that film as well, I'm not gonna lie. It's so good, and I'm hopefully seeing the second one very soon, fingers crossed, and I'm really looking forward to it. The next film I want to talk about is, again, something that I wouldn't really consider ever watching had my boyfriend not made me watch it. The next film I'm going to talk about is Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, I've never really been into that whole hero film, like I sort of mentioned with the same kind of spy movie thing. I've never been like, oh yeah, I want to go to the cinema to see a Marvel or DC film. Like, that's never been me until I met Chris, and then he's like quite the sci-fi nerd, so whenever like Marvel gets a new film out, we have to go to the cinema to see it, which I'm not complaining about anymore because it's actually pretty decent, not gonna lie. But Guardians of the Galaxy I saw for the first time this year, and oh my god, I just loved it. It was so funny. It has Chris Pratt in it. I love Chris Pratt. He's like amazing. I think he's such a funny actor. Love him in Parks and Rec. Oh my god. Yeah, it's such a good film, and it's just really funny. It's like a really good feel-good film, and I didn't really know where the storyline was going to take it, but it actually got really good. And the second one came out this year, and I literally watched the first one before we went to the cinema to see the second one, and I loved the second one as well. And if you're into sci-fi and action and heroes, or like Marvel, you know, if you just like the Marvel universe, go and see it because it's actually really cool. And that's coming from someone who never really liked that genre of film before going to university, so. And the last film I want to talk about is The Art of Getting By. It's another indie film, and it's got Emma Roberts and Freddie Highmore in it, and he looks really hot in this film as well, not gonna lie. And it's a very down-to-earth film. It's only an hour and I think 25 minutes or something, so it's really short. You can easily watch it. I'm one of those people who can't sit through like 2.5 hours of film. Having said that, Inception is one of my favorite films, so I'm really fussy when it comes to timings of films because I get kind of bored after a while. It's set in America, and Freddie Highmore's character is an artist, and he kind of wants to become an artist and doesn't really know how to get inspiration. And he has a very interesting outlook on life. When I was younger, I say when I was younger, like a few years ago, I had the exact same outlook on life as his character, which is why I really connected with this film, and it really kind of resonated with me. He has a very, not really depressive outlook on life, but it feels very real, and I feel like a lot of people have the same outlook on life as his character. He's quite, I wouldn't say intense, but he's very set in his ways, and when he meets Emma's character, his world's kind of just like, oh wow, this is different. And then he finds his inspiration, and then it all gets sorted, sort of. And yeah, it's a really good film. It was also in Raindance or Sundance or one of the big top festivals. It's a really good film, so go check that out as well. That's it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed this, and it's probably going to become a series. If you have any films you would like to suggest for me to watch, leave them in the comments below. I would love to get a discussion going on this. I don't know how often I'll be making these videos. I'd like to say once a month, but I don't know. I have got an idea of what the next films I want to talk about are going to be, so keep an eye out for that on my channel. If you're new, subscribe, because then you can see more content with me and just talking about random stuff. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next week for another video.